This is EA Sports PGA Tour Golf. Rich Lerner joined up in the booth by Frank Nobilo. Frank, there's nothing like it early tee time to get the adrenaline flowing.
And also, too, the golf course is perfect. Less divots. You don't see any sort of marks on the green. Greens are going to putt beautifully. And there's also, the course is a little bit softer. It's got the moisture from overnight. And also, when they've cut the golf course, there's that really green, fresh smell, like it's brand new. And that is not a fairway hit. It's definitely gone into the rough. Certainly not the start everybody was expecting.
This is looking really good.
Oh, it was a good strike. I could tell that by the sound as the ball came off the club face. That little bounce and check. Well done.
So now eyeing this one for birdie. You bet. Easy as can be. That's in for birdie. Moving on, we come to the par 4 second. That's going to miss the fairway. So after the birdie at 1, he'll need to play his second at 2 from the rough.
It shouldn't be too bad where he is. He should have a decent look at the green.
Ooh, that's where the wayward previous shot will cost you. Failed to reach the green from the rough, and now it's time to scramble. Not going to be easy. "18 feet from the bottom of the cup." Yeah, maybe a little defensive there, as that'll come up short. So this second hole a bit tougher than the first. It's a bogey to move him back to level par.
On to the third.
Okay, took that one just past the hole, but kept it on the right side, so a birdie putt forthcoming. Let's bring in Nota Begay III for a look at birdie.
And you have to be very careful with the downhill part of this putt. It doesn't have a lot of break, but it will gather some speed. Yeah, that was maybe a little overcautious. I bet he'd like that one again.
So a little bit of everything so far. Bogey at first, birdie at second, and that, par here at third.
Challenging hole coming up next. This is the par 4 fourth. This one turning left a bit off the tee. Now his second at the par 4 fourth. Okay, on the putting surface, but work to do from there. Gonna have to be a little careful with this one. It's for birdie. Yeah, that's a pretty good putt. Just a little bit off the mark. Disappointment there. I'll brush it in, and that'll be just a par. Ready to go at the fifth.
Now, it's in the first cut. There's always a little bit more grass around the ball that has to be factored in.
Ball just off the fairway. Here's Nota.
150 left to the hole. Pin is in the far back portion of the screen.
Well, Frank, this is a case where a par is going to feel like an eagle if he's able to get this done.
If you can just make it, just make this putt, then just like run to the next tee.
I think he'll be a little disappointed with that. Okay, it's a misstep here. It's a bogey, and that score will move back into the black. +1 now on his front side. It's amazing how well folks hit the irons off the tee nowadays, and that a prime example right there. That's got to be disappointing. Good lie in the fairway, and the approach winds up in the bunker. Okay, not bad out of the sand, and that's what will remain, trying to grind out a par. Yeah, good bounce back par there. Still time to get this round turned around, and that won't hurt a bit. Par 5 up next as we come to the 7th hole. Yeah, that's a nice swing, and the result is going to be a tee shot that is set up just fine. Had half the equation on that shot, the distance. not quite the accuracy. Missed it, hair to the right.
Yeah, not quite a foul ball. Kept it in the ballpark, and well, let's see how good you can chip.
Look here at birdie.
And he may need to give this just a little extra. He's going straight up the hill, but otherwise fairly painless.
Oh, yes. Very impressive right there. That goes down for a birdie. Here now at the 8th hole. Okay, that one's dancing. He just made one on the previous hole. This slightly longer for another birdie. Got it there, but not quite on target. Birdie, but par is all he'll have to show for it. One more par 4 to get through on this front side as we come to the par 4 ninth. Nope, that wasn't the right line, and he'll pay the price as this ball gonna run off the fairway and into the bunker.
Good clean strike out of the fairway bunker, safely on the green and inside 20 feet.
15 feet away. Not quite on line, and that'll drift a couple feet by. Just a tap in there for par at the 9th. First hole of the back 9, hole number 10. Yeah, nothing to fault there. Good balance, good follow through, and a good start to this hole.
Their second shot just ran out of fairway, but still, nice little pitch shot and a good chance to make 4 at par 5.
Very well read. She's 1 under now for the day. Settling in, hoping for a good one here at the par 3.
Just a little splash out on this par 3.
Okay, well, that is on the green, but apparently just too difficult to get enough loft on it out of the bunker, and that winds up well beyond the hole. That's going to scoot a foot or 2 by. On, we come to the par 4 12. And this, not the longest hole players will encounter, so just an iron off the tee, and it works out to perfection. Well, had a good look at the green, but couldn't hash it in the rough now, wondering what might have been. Disappointment there. We'll brush it in, and that'll be just a par. Here we are at hole number 13. doesn't bring people out of their seats. People like to see the long ball, the driver guys swinging for the fences, but this is the right play. This hole does not require the big stick. It's a positioning hole. That's exactly what they've done with the iron off the tee. That's a good shot.
In golf, you know, you've heard the term mulligan. You'd love that, a do-over there, wouldn't you? I mean, that's just it's very poor from that range.
Okay, looking for that breakthrough to get into red figures, but just a par there as he'll remain right where he started at even. That one safely on the putting surface. This for birdie now at 14.
Really not a whole lot to this. He's going to get a little help from the slope. Other than that, just slightly to the right.
That's so nearly a birdie, but par is all he'll have to show for it. Final few holes coming up as we reach the par 4 15. Yeah, good swing and a good result, as that is safely into the fairway. Just 92 yards for his second to this par 4. That is started right, and that is trouble. No, that's offline and directly into the water. So, with a shake of the head, he'll take his drop, and now with a stroke added for the penalty, this becomes his 4th to the par 4.
It is a game of touch. It is evidence right there when your touch is out. What a difference it makes. That ball went a long way past.
Step this one off at 30 feet. Yeah, he wanted that to go a little more, but that's not too bad from there. Well, he came into this hole at even par, but with the double, he walks off at 2 over. Stepping up to the 16th hole.
It's so hard to bounce back after a huge score, especially when you're still reeling from it. But try and pull the screws back in the head there. Just take a little breath, maybe 2. Decent swing. Don't try and kill it. Exactly like that. Really good shot.
Okay, can't take putts that length for granted, but that's in for a par. Up next, we arrive at the par 4, 17th hole. Yeah, all about hitting the fairway here, and that is right where you want to be. Now note his second from the fairway.
He's got 144 yards remaining to the hole. It's sitting in the back left portion of the green.
And that ball looked very good in the air. Just doesn't quite finish up that near to the flag, but still on the green.
Disappointment there. He'll brush it in, and that'll be just a par. Well, this is it, Frank.
Yeah, just one more good swing.
Boy, tough to do a whole lot better than that. That ball right down the middle. Now, after the big drive, this a good distance here for a second to the par 5. Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No, no chance. The putter has not been at its best, but this a good look for birdie. Yeah, that's a good putt there. It's a birdie at 18. And that will make this a round of 72. Frank, you know what? I think about it. What is it we actually do? And it occurred to me at one point, I sit around most of the afternoon and say things like, let's go to 4, now to 9. Over to 17. I am really a glorified bingo announcer. I'm wondering if you'll come visit me at the Sunrise Senior Center down in South Florida in about 4 years when I'm calling games down there.
Yeah, and I was going to be a neuroscientist as well. It all changed.
Till next time, for our entire cast and crew, I'm Rich Lerner. This has been a presentation of EA Sports PGA Tour Golf. So long, everybody.